And this is your Friday safety meeting. It's hard to believe that the month of October, the 10th month of this year, is just about half over. Halloween will be here before you know it. So that means we'll be having those fun conversations about the holidays. You know, this is probably one of my favorite times of year. Fall is here, a little bit of briskness in the air, you know, still get to look at the freshly mowed lawns, and the fall decor is starting to pop up all around the facility here at Prime. I'm sure they're popping up, you know, at the other facilities across the country too. So it's a good time of year, right before our least favorite time of year, which is winter time. But, you know, let's cherish the days as we have it. My name is Dennis Davis. I work in the safety department. Our safety department is located in the Z building, right? Ground level, center of the room, right next to the pillars. As we always say, if you ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to stop on by or give us a call. We don't ever promise you that we're going to have the answer, but we can point you in the right direction to somebody that does. We're going to do this meeting 52 Fridays this year. We're already slated for Friday after Thanksgiving. It'll just be me and my buddy Steve over here, but we'll be here holding it down. Breakfast is free this morning, so let's give our folks at all three of our locations a round of applause for feeding all these hungry truckers. Thank you guys so much for what you do. We know that is not an easy job. I'll be over there shortly to place my order, so be sure to take care of me too. So we are live right now on Facebook and YouTube. So folks that are watching live, welcome. Thank you for being here. And please click like and subscribe so you can get notifications anytime we go live for our Friday safety meeting or post any other content. So we know that tons of folks are watching. We know that some of our new folks here use this particular meeting and past meetings as a little bit of research to decide what company you want to come to. We welcome it. We're glad to have you. We know some customers are watching, so, you know, welcome you too. Thanks for watching. We know some friends that are just interested in the industry are watching, and we know some foes are probably watching too. You know, we're a 100% transparent company. We'll answer whatever you have for us. We know we're not perfect, and this is one of the reasons that we do this, so that we can be as transparent as we can and get your feedback. So we are simulcasting live at all three of our terminals. We are right here in Springfield, Missouri. Let's go east first to Pittston, Pennsylvania. I think we got our buddy Rick with us this morning. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning. Good morning. Rick Giffords, Safety Department also.
All right, man. Dynamite drop in, Ricky. I love it. So you fresh off vacation, you know, you passed through and told us hello. We got to spend a little bit of time with you, and now you're back in the seat. Nobody needs a vacation more than the guy that just got off vacation. So tell us what's going on in Pittston.
Yeah. I still got the vacation look going on, and you know, I love this time of the year. Also, you know, the fall colors and everything like that is just gorgeous this time of the year. 29 in class this week. Great group, ready to learn, and they're down at the pad, you know, doing their pre-trips and backing in, pulling forward, and they're getting it done.
Well, good deal. I see your buddy Bill over there with you. You might have some guests up there. Was it next week, I think? Next week. So, you know, probably some, you know, handsome guy, you know, pretty smart, pretty good looking, might be paying you guys a visit. Not sure who that is, but we'll see next week, right?
Well, yeah, I know he'll be standing next to the good-looking guy. Yeah, I'll see you Thursday.
Well played. So, of course, you know, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns in Pittston, don't hesitate to step to the microphone.
You guys are awesome. Can't wait to see you again.
All right, excellent. All right, let's go west, Salt Lake City. Bright and early. Got some new decorations behind you. Good morning, Troy.
Good morning. How's everybody in Missouri?
We are doing fantastic on this fall Friday. How's life and all things in Salt Lake City?
It's beautiful. It's a crisp 42 degrees out here, but we're getting back up to 75, so it's beautiful out here right now. This is the perfect time of year to do anything you want in Utah. It's a gorgeous time. So.
Oh, yeah, that time of year where on your way to work, you got the heat running, and then on your way home from work, you got the air running. So, yeah, we're all kind of in that phase.
Yeah, it's the last days of my motorcycle, so it's cold in the morning, but it's sure nice in the afternoon. You're right, but yeah, it's starting to change here too. You know, the colors and the leaves and all that stuff, and the mountains. We have mountains out here. I know you don't know what that is, but we have mountains out here, and it's beautiful out here.
Well, great. Where are you from, Troy?
From Salt Lake City, Utah. Born and raised out here.
All right. Well, good deal. So, any big news? Anything new and interesting happening in Salt Lake City?
We got a next Tuesday, I think it is. We have our tenure dinner here for those drivers those people that are going to be out here in Salt Lake City that have more than 10 years. We've got the dinner next. I think it's the 18th. So that'll be nice. I've been here a little more than 10 years, so it's kind of fun.
Absolutely. You know, it's always good to hear that we are back in the seat of having those culture events, the 10-year dinners. You know, soon we'll be putting out information about the Christmas parties coming up and, you know, doing that rotation. And, you know, it's fantastic. I miss that part of what we do. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns in Salt Lake City, don't hesitate to step to the microphone.
We'll do. We had a driver here this morning tell me about safety. He's asking everybody to be safe. He came up in Idaho and took out an elk. So they're coming down. So he said, he was one of the drivers here that said, please, watch yourselves, be safe.
Absolutely. I'm not a hunter, but I know hunting season for deer and large game like that is coming up. So they're going to be running because you folks are going to be shooting at them.
Oh, for sure. We got a lot of drivers here telling them to be safe. There was another driver said he saw a load of Smucker's preservatives on the highway. That there was an accident. He said it was a bad traffic jam. Come on, that's pretty good, right?
You must have kids. That was a terrible dad joke. Terrible dad joke.
There's another driver
We'll take it. Maybe next week I'll one up you and come up with one of my own. So
there was another driver hauling animals. There was lions and tigers and elephants that had crashed, and he said it was a circus out there. All
right, we're gonna cut you off there. Appreciate you. Appreciate everything you got going on in Salt Lake City.
Not mine.
All right, back here to Springfield, Missouri. Good morning, folks. How are you today? I'm here with my buddy Steve Field, and he's our director of safety. And we sit next to each other and we talk a lot. While we were standing here having our pre-meeting meeting, we're just talking about, how could anybody be sad on a today's like today? For most of us, it's payday, in-house associates, driver associates alike. The beautiful sunrise we got to see as we were walking down here for the meeting. Just, we work for a fantastic company that cares about all of their associates. Where would you rather be, right here than today, right? Yeah, absolutely. So I just want to say for our new folks, you can see the excitement in all of our associates at all of our locations. You can see how happy we are to be here bright and early on a Friday morning. We think you made the right decision to come to Prime. So we want to say welcome and thank you. If you would stand, if you're a new associate, give us the opportunity to properly welcome you to Prime. Heartfelt welcome and thank you for choosing us for our new associates at all three of our locations. Yeah, you guys can sit down now. Let's go. And for our veteran drivers, I've been told I can't use the word old anymore. For our veteran drivers, our seasoned folks, I just want to tell you, welcome home. We're glad to see you. We're glad that you had the opportunity to get through one of our terminals, eat some free food, tell us hello, and then we need you to get right back on the road and haul some freight for us, right? So this morning, I've got with me, again, our Director of Safety, Steve Field.
Morning, Dennis.
Good morning.
I think Dennis said it very well. It is a beautiful day out there. It's good to be here at Prime. And, to our new folks, we truly believe you made the right choice. A lot of you have made a life-changing decision. You're counting on us. You're depending on us because you've got family at home. You've got dreams. You've got aspirations. And we are going to do everything we possibly can to make those dreams come true for you. And I know that sounds like an infomercial or something, but You know, I've been here a while. Dennis has been here a while. Prime has been good to our families. It's been really good. And there's a lot of drivers I see around that, you know, basically we've matured with, we've grown up with over the last 10, 20, 25 years here. So I also want to thank our new folks. It's going to be very, very challenging. Trucking is a tough, tough profession. I've been in it most of my life. There's a lot of challenges. It can be dangerous out there. It can be lonely out there. But at the same time, it gives you a great opportunity to take care of your family. I'm a firm believer that the trucking occupation, particularly for drivers, is a ticket to the middle class, where we all want to get to the middle class. So bear with us. You're coming at a good time and you're thinking, how can this be a good time? It's going to start snowing soon and we're ready for that snow. It presents challenges for us, but you're going to be out there with your instructor, with your trainer as you're going through winter driving, learning how to do it, learning the right way to do it, because it can be done safely. We do that 99.9999% of the time. We're completely safe out there. So listen while you're out there, ask questions, push back on those areas that, why are we doing it this way? And you'll get good answers. You've got a whole support team here to take care of you. And one thing I might add, you know, you're starting now for our new folks. You're going to be eligible probably to upgrade maybe right before the holidays in that area. Think about staying out there with your trainer. If you've got a good relationship with him or her, the holidays always present unique challenges. It'll give you a little more time to work on those winter driving skills, learn the business side of trucking, and then upgrade after the holidays. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying that a lot of times works really well. Get out there when the holidays are over. You're not worried about getting home, and sometimes it just makes for a smoother transition to your own truck. You know, to the veteran drivers that I see here, thanks for being here. You know, we built this company with you guys, and we appreciate each and every one of you. But nothing is more important than being safe out there, making sure that each one of you get home when it's time to go home, and that everyone on the road, the motoring public, gets home. That's our obligation as professional truckers, to do the best we can to make sure the motoring public gets home as well. Again, thanks for being here. I think we've got some great speakers lined up for you. This is truly your meeting. If you have questions, get those hands up. We want to hear them, your thoughts and your comments. And thanks again for being here.
All right. So before we roll into some more safety information, I just want to piggyback off what Steve said about winter driving. You know, the coaching, anytime I get a microphone in my hand and in front of a group of drivers, I'm going to say this time of year. You know, the biggest part, the most important part of winter weather driving is planning and communication. When you're planning that trip and you've investigated the forecast and you see that either you're in winter weather or you're going to be passing through winter weather, proper communication with your fleet manager is so paramount. And the first, thing I want you to consider when you're planning is consider not driving. You know, it's crazy for a trucking company to say that, but yeah, consider not driving. You know, consider not operating during the biggest and baddest part of any weather storm. You know, these storms, they don't come and stay. They typically come and keep on moving. And where we get ourselves in trouble is where we try to battle the worst part of the storm. You know, there's no trophy at the end. There's no extra pay. You know, there's no badge of honor to say that I powered through a blizzard, where the honor is to say, hey, I made the right decision for myself, for my family, for my company, for that customer, for the motoring public, to sit just a few more hours, to allow that local jurisdiction to deploy their plows, to treat their roads, to allow Mother Nature to kind of come back around, let the sun come out, melt some stuff, and lo and behold, 4, 5, 6, 7, even 10 hours later, the conditions are a complete 180 than what they would have been operating in the worst part of the storm. And as long as we properly communicate with fleet managers and customers alike, everything's okay. Everybody's safe. You're still going to get paid. Everything is good. It's when we don't, where we open ourselves up to peril and mistakes. So just keep that in mind. New drivers alike, veterans, keep same thing. So, hey, let's jump into a little bit of safety information. Every week we try to report on our inspections. That's really kind of the report card, as Dave White would say, of what we've done for the week. So pretty mild week on inspections, 145 total inspections across the country. We got 95 clean inspections, puts us at a 66% clean inspection rate. Give yourselves a round of applause. That's a fabulous number. True prime fashion, we always like to see that number as close as we can or above the 70% mark. That puts us about 100% above the national average, but 66% is nothing to hold your head about. That is a great job. We did a fabulous week. I think it was my week to do inspections. We saw a lot of speed this week. They always get us with that 6 to 10 over, so you're not breaking any speed records in a prime truck by any means, but that just lets us know that we're rushing a little bit in certain situations, and I get it. That's human nature, but the coaching is always slow down. And Jason Seymour, who we're going to have up here in a minute, I used to sit by him and used to say, I think slowing down is the answer to just about everything in trucking. You're having safety issues, slow down. You're having maintenance issues with your truck, slow down. You're not making enough money in trucking, slow down. All of these things can be fixed by just going just a few miles per hour slower. So just keep that in mind. Of course, we want to remind every driver as we get to the point where you're renewing your physical, your DOT physical, whether it's here at Trinity or in an outside location, that you have to self-certify your medical card with your state, okay? Every state is different, which is crazy, but, Missouri is one of those few states where you have to physically walk it in to a DMV location, but other states have various ways to do it, whether it's fax, email, whether they have a web portal. If you have questions about how to get that done, ask your fleet manager. They can get you pointed in the right direction, probably even get it done for you. The safety department can get it done for you, but if you're renewing your DOT physical, it's so important that you get yourself self-certified with that state. So before we move along, do we have any questions from anybody about any of those topics?
I think we got a minute to do a quick check to see if we're having any impact so far. Dennis.
Okay.
One of our new folks, we'll do it real quick. I know, brand new, aren't you? Yeah, basically. Come on up for a second. Come on. I just want to see if we got any impact. I've been listening to Dennis. He sure sounds persuasive over there. So give us the 30-second, who you are, where you're from, and why you're here.
My name is Robert Allen. I'm from Hillsboro, Illinois, which nobody knows where that is because it has like 3 people in it. And I came down here for a second career after retiring from teaching for 26 years. So
Oh, fantastic. Teaching's a tough job, isn't it?
it definitely was during the pandemic. I'll tell you
I
that.
bet it was, and challenging.
Yeah.
You do some research on us, Robert?
I actually did. I had taken a job with a lab company, but it was the same route every day, same buildings every day, and it got kind of boring. So I started vetting truck companies, and every time I looked at something that was important, Prime came out on top.
Well, we're glad to hear that. Have you ever driven a tractor trailer before?
Not until yesterday.
Well, there's always day one.
That's right.
Me
and my classmate Chris right there drove to Kansas City and back with a load of tires. So
very good, very good. What do you think of it?
actually loved it. Now I just got to learn how to back.
There you go. That's an acquired skill. Let me ask you one thing. If you've taken one thing out of this meeting so far, what is it? Just one point.
I love the energy.
Energy. I like that. Yeah, we do have a lot of energy here. We're happy to be here. We're proud of our company. We're proud of all our drivers, even if they've only driven one day. That's all right. You're getting there. So, we're glad you're here, Robert. Got a little flashlight for you from one of our vendors. It might help you out there, and we're glad you're here. If we can help you, you let us know.
All right.
All right. How about a hand for Robert?
Put that guilt trip. Hey, the drivers want to hear from you. So here he is, Jason Seymour. I know everybody. Hey, just hold on. You get your turn. Everybody wants to. I've heard the social media post about, oh, now it's up to 50,000 miles. Or what are we gonna do? So we're gonna be 100% transparent. Jason's gonna talk about what some of the upcoming changes are.
That's right. First, I want to say, man, that's really impressive that you remembered that. All these years, I thought I failed at training you. Maybe I didn't do such a bad job at all. And next, I want to say Hillsboro, Illinois. I know exactly where that's at. Home of Matt Hughes. I'm from Pittsfield, so you guys used to kick our butts in wrestling. So I didn't, but most of my teammates did. So anyway, Yeah, big news. So it was fun to watch him wrestle in high school. So anyway, yeah, as Dennis stated, my name is Jason Seymour. I work in reefer operations. I'm here to talk just a little bit about our upgrade process and a couple of changes. So we'll start right with the news. Starting next week, Monday the 17th, anybody that comes to orientation, the training periods that we have currently in place are going to be extended. So right now, like all you folks that came in and went to orientation this week, the minimum is 30,000 miles, right? You get your CDL, you go out, you run a minimum of 30,000 miles. Again, the key word there, minimum, and then you're eligible for upgrade. Starting Monday the 17th, that's going to 50,000 miles, okay? We're going to extend it back. And we've moved it back and forth at different times over the years for different reasons. Really, you know, this comes down to equipment issues, right? We have a rather large backlog of drivers that are in the pipeline right now. And to help smooth that process out with equipment and just keeping team number and everything going and everybody steady, that number is going to go to 50. So all you folks in here in the yellow vest, that doesn't affect you because you're still, again, at the 30,000 miles. But anybody that comes in next week, we're going to get the 50,000 mile threshold. So, and that affects maybe some of the trainers that are in the building. So you know that that training period that you're going to have those folks is going to be a little bit longer, okay? Now, while I have the microphone, I want to talk about our upgrade process in general. All right. Again, the operative word that I use is minimum. All right. There is no guarantees in any of this. All right. Some folks are going to get it in 30,000 miles. Some folks, it might take them 40 or 50,000 miles. Honestly, some folks never get it. They never get to the point where they're able to safely, profitably operate a truck on their own. All right. So I just want to run through kind of what our upgrade process is so everybody's aware. When somebody hits that 30,000 mile period, or soon to be 50,000 miles, and what that does is that really triggers a conversation between you and your trainer and your fleet manager, okay? That's really what it needs to do. Hey, I'm Robert. Hey, man, I've got everything done. I'm ready to go. I think you're ready to go. I don't know that I can teach you anymore right now. You're ready to get your own truck. Your fleet manager just starts your file around in the system in what is called our routing program. And not to get too technical, it just basically goes around to a bunch of different departments in the building, safety, logs, claims, where everybody says, yep, Jason's met the requirements. We're confident that he's able to go out and run on his own. Now, that process takes a couple of days. And once that's done, and there's a lot of confusion on this, we go on to what we're calling the truck availability list. Because here's the reality of it. We don't have enough trucks. If everybody that completed that process just came in us, we would have enough trucks to seat everybody, okay, in an efficient manner. So we kind of have this truck availability list where folks will sit and they'll wait for, you know, hopefully 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks at the most, all right? And based on what truck orders are, because that's where the moving target comes in, right? It's how many trucks do we get delivered, how many trucks come out of the fleet, how many people, how many current drivers do we turn over that week and come in. That number of available trucks that we have to actually put a driver in is a moving target on a week-to-week basis based on a lot of factors that really you and I don't have a whole lot of control over, okay? So that's how that system works. You know, here's kind of an interesting thing is when we go through that list every week, here's kind of what we're finding, and I don't know how this really happened, but, you know, we've had some folks that have basically said, all right, I ran my 30,000th mile. I'm getting off the truck right now, and I'm going to go home, and I'm going to sit, and I'm going to wait until my turn comes up to come in and get a truck. And I'm just telling you from an operational standpoint, that doesn't work, okay? Our expectation, all right, I know people are anxious. People don't come here to, you know, people come here to start their career, right? I mean, they want to go through the training. They want to get their own truck. That's what we do, and that's what we know people come here and want to do, all right? But it's important that in that kind of little waiting period there, which is longer than all of us want it to be, we're out there doing some things like, number one, we got to keep our skills safe, right? I mean, we've only ran maybe 15,000 miles behind the wheel. If the training period is 30,000, that's truck miles. If I drove half of them, that means I've got actually 15,000 miles of behind the wheel driving, okay? It's not a ton. I need to be out there keeping my skills sharp, you know, staying practiced, experiencing things, because that truly is the best teacher, especially with the time of year that we have coming up, right? The other part is our customers need us, right? Our customers need us. We need to be out there servicing our customers 52 weeks a year. There's times of the year where they lean on us, they're coming up, and there's times of the year where we're going to lean on them. And that partnership, that relationship we have with them, that they can truly count on Prime to provide the capacity that they need to service their customers, is a huge, important part of what the power that we have in the marketplace, okay? So anyway, back to what I'm saying. When we go through that truck availability list and we say, okay, we've got 60 trucks between what we've got coming in and everything, we can bring in 60 this week. We're going to go through and we're going to look for the 60 people that are out there running, okay? And they're out there servicing our customers and out there honing their skills and staying practiced. It's a competition. Those are the people that we're going to bring in to give a truck, okay? So that's really probably the 2 points that I wanted to hit, all right? Does anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns on this? None? Come on. Dan, I know better. Come on now. You're passing? Are you feeling okay? Okay.
Good morning. My name is
Good
Serge. I am a truck. I'm a trainer,
Okay.
and then I've been having this question about releasing the students, especially when they get done with that 30,000 mile.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not the first time they actually asked me. Yeah, when I get done, I really want to stay on the truck with you. I really like you and everything, but I am not stuck, but I am locked on this rate, the student rate. That's the first thing. Staying on the truck, they're done with the training, so they're level A or class A now. Are they getting that rate right now? And the other question will be, what if, God forbid, we don't want that. We want to stay safe. What if an incident occur? Do they get rolled into that 10,000 extra mile, or how do we handle that?
Okay. First on the pay question, yes. If they stay as a B2, so what you're saying is, I'm your trainee and I complete my 30,000th mile and I say, man, I really like you and I want to stay with you, but I can't afford to keep working at $900 a week, right? You know, you can work that out with payroll, okay? There is, you know, really what you've got to decide as independent contractor is, what am I worth to you, right? Am I worth $900 to you, or am I worth more? Am I really good? If I'm really good, I mean, I think, you know, in years past, and I think it probably still goes on, there's a fair amount of just, you know, trainer, man, we had a really good week. Here's a couple extra $100, right? Dan's nodding his head. Okay. You know, really there's a way to formalize that, because that is a big part is, you know, you think about, you know, our training process, and I've talked about that, you know, in the next 52 weeks, these folks in the yellow vest can make 130,000 plus if they follow the plan, right? The plan is 4 weeks of 0 as a PSD, 9 weeks as a TNT student at 900 a week. Then you go solo at 1,700 a week, and then you run team where you're making close to $4,000 a week, right? The longer, if you stretch out that $900 a week period, that takes that $130,000 number down, right? And that's what you're getting at. So I think, you know, that's in, you know, what I would say is that's a conversation, again, that you and your trainee and your fleet manager need to have. Can we work around that? Yes, absolutely we can. All right. There's a way through the payroll process to put a cent per mile in there. We can go ahead. What I would suggest is, first off, go ahead and that person needs to upgrade. Okay. They can upgrade and not get their own truck. That way they're an A seat. All right. We got 2 A seats, you and me, we're both A seats running team on your truck. And then at that point, you get to set what my rate per mile is, okay? And you do that through payroll, and that way I'm not limited to the 900. Maybe I'm worth 1,500 a week, right? And you can set that up through the payroll process, okay? Now, the second part of it is yes, if they have an accident, that training period is going to get extended, all right? We look at critical events, we look at accidents, we look at logs. All of those things go into it. We want to make sure, you know, remember, safety is number one, right? Safety is always number one. We're going to make sure that before we put somebody out there in a truck on their own, they're safe and that they're prepared to be safe, okay? And the amount it's extended is dependent on the severity of the infractions, okay? Anybody else? That was easy. There we go.
you got off easy today. Man, I want you guys to light up Seymour with as many hard questions as you can. Yeah, Jason Seymour is a jewel to be here. You know, he worked here for tons of years, full of information. So if anybody has any questions pertaining to this, don't hesitate to stop by his desk or give him a call while you're out on the road. So, hey, we got a new friend with us today. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing all right. See, I'm not going to surprise you this week. I'll take this one. You take the next one, okay?
That's perfect. I appreciate the heads up.
All right. Good deal. So, hey, I talked a little bit earlier about a good, handsome guy going to be in Pittston next week. Turns out that's going to be me. I'm going to travel to Pittston next week with my buddy Heather. All right. And Heather's from Cardinal Sleep. Come on up. And she's going to talk about some of the things we're going to try to get accomplished while we're there. Good morning, Heather.
Good morning. So I will be in Pittston next week, so I'm excited about that. I haven't been up there in a year. What I'm going to be there for is to do some updates and some setting changes on the resident machines. So if you have one of those devices, and if you had your study after January the 1st here, and you were dispensed equipment, then you have one of those devices. So I'm going to be doing some updates on those, and you can do those here, you can do those in Salt Lake, but I will be in Pittston next Thursday and Friday on the 20th and the 21st to take care of that for you. I'm very excited about the updates because I think that it's going to make the uploading process a lot faster, a lot easier, and hopefully work out a lot better for the drivers, for you guys. So that I will be there for that. I will also have resupply. So if you need something specific, tubing, mask, filters, anything like that, give me a call. I'll make sure that I have exactly what you need. I will have lots of that anyway, but if you have something specific to you, then just give me a call and I'll make sure that I have it for you. I brought my little notes here. Scheduling. I always want to bring up the scheduling. If you are someone who needs to schedule a sleep study, try to schedule ahead with us if you can. Give us a call about a week ahead of when you're going to be in here, because we don't want you to have any time where you're sitting and waiting to get in for a day or two. That's just a waste for you. So just give us a call. We'll make sure that we've got you a slot. If something happens and you end up being a day late or something like that, then we've got your slots reserved and we can kind of work with it and move people around during the week so that you won't be stuck here, you won't be held up at all. So that's a big thing. But the really big thing is that I will be in Pittston. So I did have one more thing I was going to tell everybody, just being on the positive note to make sure that I pass this along. I know that this year has been really rough. If you are somebody that is in this program or on a CPAP everywhere, our industry has been really affected by the chip shortage and the supply chain. So the machines that we have are great devices. They work wonderful. They do upload differently than what we are used to in the United States. So I just wanted to tell everybody, I know that there are some frustrations. Just call me. I am happy to tell you all about what's going on and what everybody is doing to try to help, like these updates that they're doing to the software. You can vent to me. I'm fine. I can take it. I will definitely be happy to talk you through what we're doing to make things better for you, because that's what we want to do. We want to make it easier for you. We want to make it better for you. So give me a call, and I'm happy to talk to anybody about that.
Hey, real quick, Heather.
Yep.
Salt Lake City, we can do sleep studies. We can do full service. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Full service in Salt Lake City. And Amber's out there today. I think she's with Troy. She is wonderful. She will help you with anything. We do sleep studies. We have resupply. We can do physician consults. So it is going out there full service. So anything you need, Amber is awesome. She will take care of you. So just give her a call or go see her.
All right. Thank you so much.
Right. You are welcome. Everybody have a great weekend.
All right. Cardinal Sleep is located just below us here, opposite of Trinity, and they can get you taken care of. Of course, also they're located in Salt Lake City. We'll be in Pittston, Pennsylvania next week, so we'll be able to get you at every single prime stop there is. So, all right. Moving right along. What you got?
Okay, well, I've got a little redemption to do because, as you know, a couple of weeks ago, Dennis was up here talking. Usually when Dennis is talking, you know, if I'm over here, I can go get breakfast, go run an errand. I don't have to worry about anything. Dennis turns around and says, who do we have next? And I panicked. I wasn't ready. And I did Sean a huge injustice. So our next speaker here is going to talk to you about DriveWise. And Sean's been here at Prime for a long time. He's been in a number of departments, started out in permits. He actually now is over our permit department, our payroll department, and our TWIC department. And in between there, he actually worked in our safety department. So he is a huge advocate of safety, which we appreciate. Matter of fact, you can watch him practicing the goal method out here in the parking lot every morning trying to park his vehicle. So Sean, if you're ready, come on up here.
John, that was nice. Thanks. It was just short of the Ric Flair intro. Thanks. So as you said, my name is Sean Riker. I do want to mention Jason had talked about the question over here about the payroll side. You can definitely formalize that with your payroll associate. And if you don't know who they are, in your app on your My Contacts, it tells you who they are. It tells you where they sit at over in the Z building normally, upstairs or downstairs. And it also tells you if they're on site or not. Because I know that's a big question for our drivers, who's here, who's not. My team's on here 3 days a week at least. We have 4 associates that are here every single day. So we're available to you guys, and you'll know. Even if they're off site, that doesn't mean they're not working. I hear several drivers think, I can't call them, they're off site or whatever. You definitely can, please do. They're here for you guys to answer any of those questions, get those things set up for you, whatever you guys need to do. And I saw Dan nod also about paying them on the side. So there's a few ways you can do that. I mean, you can just hand them cash, but I also want to remind everybody your on-road card has peer-to-peer transfer on it to other drivers that have on-road cards, which is all of our drivers. So you have a lot of tools there for you I wanted to mention. So it's kind of the payroll side. As John said, I'm fortunate enough also to be able to work with our permits team. And one of the things that they do is when you get your permit book, truck, everything like that, you get your pre-pass in there. And your pre-pass does your bypasses. And we always look at ways we can make your life a little bit easier. And it's kind of been a product out there for a little bit of time. We've looked at here and there, but it's really something we're going to truly test now. And Brandon, we have the ability to bring that up. So I'm going to bring up a little, what they call their cab card. We know a cab card to us is your registration, but they've got a cab card that is what they call it. And it's basically an instruction sheet that shows you everything to do on this. So I talked about it a little bit last week, and I wanted to show you guys a little bit about it this week. And first question is, of course, what does it do? It's your scale bypasses. Who's it for on the test phase of this? So we're going to test it. Our beginning date should be, if everything goes correctly, we're targeting next Tuesday, the 18th. And it's going to be company tractors. And I had several people reach out to me after I spoke last week, and they said, well, I'd like to be a part of that test. And generally, I would love everybody to be able to be a part of it. But there's a lot of programming that goes in the back end of this that I don't even claim to understand, with the OmniTracks and operational profiles, a bunch of other buzzwords that I don't know anything about. So in order to make it work, though, what we had to do was we have to activate it with our company tractors only. So that's what will be on our test for it. So how does it work differently? Your transponder you're used to right now, as you pull up there, it gives you a light, tells you what to do, or a beep, right? So this is going to actually run through your IVG, your OmniTracks device, and it's going to give you signals. Can't see it real great, I apologize, but the first green on there says scale approaching in 2 miles. Look, she can blow it up. And it says it's a DriveWise site. You see that arrow at the top, that blue area tells you it's a DriveWise site, tells you it's in 2 miles. You get another alert in 1 mile to tell you that it's upcoming. And then you get one of those 3 instructions at the bottom of it. You get a bypass, pull in unless closed, or follow road signs, right? Those are all pretty straightforward on what to do. Also, it's not just a beep up there, right? You get to see it on your OmniTracks device. So it's going to be much more evident to you. And you're going to get that alert ahead of time, because occasionally we miss some scales. And a lot of the reason people say miss scales is I couldn't get over, right? Kind of you get in that little zone, you're driving, all of a sudden you're on the scale house before you realize it. So you get some alerts that you don't get now, try to help you get over for it. So if it's not a DriveWise site, you will still get an alert, and it'll say scale approaching in 2 miles, scale approaching in 1 mile, and then it's going to tell you follow the road sign, whatever that is, right? Big thing I have to have everybody know is during this test, if your pre-pass gives you a signal, you have to use your pre-pass signal. So if you go up to it and it's a pre-pass and a DriveWise site, your device is going to tell you follow your transponder. And you have to follow transponder even if DriveWise tells you that you can bypass, because it's during the test only for this. Now, if you go to a site that's not a pre-pass transponder site, but it is a DriveWise site, And you'll know that because it will say be blue on there, and it will tell you then to bypass, and your transponder won't give you any signal at all, right? Because it's not valid at that location. So I want to introduce that concept to you guys about how it's going to give you the alerts moving up to it, and then also make sure you guys understood what to do whenever you get up to it. Now, this is going to be posted for our company drivers, our company tractors will be posted on the app news section, hopefully later today, maybe over the weekend, Monday for you guys, but a little bit ahead of time. It's going to have this, it's going to have a video for you guys, and it's going to have a map of where it works at. So you guys shouldn't have any questions as you're going up to there, but if you do, I'll be the main point of contact for it. So I'm really looking for your feedback. There's 2 phases to this. Well, I guess really 3 phases. One is the bypasses, which we will look at and see the quantity of them and do the evaluation on that. I want to know from you guys, though, how does it work? Do you like it? Do you not? Is it worth your time? Things like that. So this is a test for both of us. And then next week, I'll end up showing you another piece of this. It's the safety side of it. You'll see it right now, or whenever we turn it on, you'll see it, but I'll go over it with you guys next week. And it's going to tell you guys low bridges, steep grades, sharp turns, some things like that to try to help us avoid some of these common areas out there. So kind of intro a little bit more. Like I said, you'll see some information if it affects you. You're a company tractor, you'll get the information on the news app. We'll send a Qualcomm also to steer everybody who doesn't see this to the app on it. So any questions for me right now? So delay time between sending the message and getting to it. So it's cellular. That's a good question. And I'll tell you the honest to God truth, the reason we tested this probably 5 years ago, not a test of this nature. It wasn't an outward facing is what they call it, where a driver sees it, but it was an analytics. And what we noticed was there was a delay on it. So we ran the analytics again, and it doesn't look like there's the same delay on there just because the network has been more robust now. That's part of exactly what we're looking at on this. So, and understood. And that's, again, exactly what we're looking at on here. So let's just say worst case scenario, though, and I'll just walk through this with you. Let's say it doesn't get there in time. You're going to get follow road sign. So you won't be left hanging. You just won't get a bypass if it's delayed on there. And that's what we saw last time. We had a lot of extra, I'll say extra bypasses we should have got, ended up not being because of signal delay 5 years ago. But a lot changes. That's what we're hoping now.
All right, we're going to take 2 quick questions, and then Sean will be available standing over here after the meeting to answer any questions that he's got all day. All right, go ahead, really quick.
Yeah, my question is, are we eventually going to go just to this and not have the pre-pass module, or will we have both? Because Qualcomm's are so glitchy, particularly in certain areas like Illinois, they shut down all the time. So then at that point, the DriveWise is useless.
You can't have 2 systems, and that's what this test is going to tell us, how it works, how effective it is. And I understand your concern, and that's, again, kind of ties into the same type of idea he was saying. That's exactly what we'll find out. But we will end up in the end, you can only have one true system on there.
All right, last question.
I think that I'm agreeing with these guys, as many problems that we're having on these Omnitracks, logs, everything. I have had so much trouble with this. And if we switch to this, I'm with them. How are we going to know? Even the map is taking people over railroad crossings that they're not supposed to be over. It takes you to places you're not supposed to be, but yet the glitch is always still there. I'm really thinking that we maybe need to look at something else besides the Omnitracks, but I think that if you guys go with this system, which is a good system because I've had it before, but with the Omnitracks doing what it's doing, it's slowing down, it's not sending messages, it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing, I think it's going to hurt Prime in the long run because of the issues that we're having with it.
Thank you for those comments, Gina. And there are our concerns too. We have had some very challenging conversations with Omnitracks. They've made some changes here in the last several months that have impacted positively with putting money into servers. They realize what our concerns are. We realize we are taking a little chance putting another application, i.e. DriveWise, on the Omnitracks, but they have a close partnership with DriveWise, and that's one of the things we're looking at. This is just a test. If it doesn't work, we're going to throw it out. We're also always looking at products that are available. Our IT department realizes the challenges we've had with Omnitracks and been very forthwith with them that, we need these issues fixed. So thank you for your comments, Gina.
All right, we appreciate it. Like I said, Sean will be over here to my left, available to answer any questions that you may have. about the system. So, hey, we're going to keep rolling along. I'm going to bring up Eric Wingo from our cargo claims department. You know, cargo claims is one of those departments where every call they get is probably going to be some bad news, but it's okay. They understand they're professionals, you know, and it's not. And Eric is going to go into detail a little bit about what they do. And Eric, I'm going to tell you, you know, we have to cut your time a little bit short.
Okay.
All right. But, you know, kind of go through real quick, you know, at the very beginning, kind of, you know, we know that, you know, hey, there's a claim on my load. I'll call claims, but it's a little bit more than that from you guys' perspective. Go ahead.
Okay. Dennis said this is my first time being up here, and he said keep it light. So I just want to thank Troy out there for keeping it light. Well, do we have the slides or the slide?
Bring them up. She's got it.
All right. I just wanted to show you guys that picture there. What's not light is that falling out on you. Customers, when you guys load up the loads, make sure you get the load locks in there. Some of the drivers ask, how many load locks? How many does it take? If you put in one and that happens, I tell you that's not enough. I'd say minimum 2. Some of the loads you're going to need to haul 3, 4 load locks on there. Yeah, we don't. Safety is our highest priority, and it's not safe when that falls out on you.
So here, real quick, you know, a driver has a claim on a load. Of course, you know, we have claims associates here 24 hours a day, you know, and you know, full transparency, if they call, they may have to hold for a second, you know, whether, you know, it's at night or during the day, maybe you're reaching out to a customer trying to find out what the disposition is going to be, you know, kind of guide us through that process of calling in and maybe waiting a little bit to figure out what we're going to do.
We've noticed that some of our customers, you know, everybody's talking about shortages. We're short on drivers. The customers are short on staff. So sometimes we're having long hold times trying to get through to the customers to find out what to do with the product. You know, Prime the product in the back of the trailer is not Prime's, it's somebody else's. So Prime doesn't own it. We don't want to own it. The only way we're going to own it is if we have to pay for it, and we don't want to pay for it. You guys don't want to pay for it. So when you guys call in, you guys need support and that you guys have accurate information for us, because we're going to transfer that information to the customer who owns the product to find out what needs to be done with it. So make sure you guys get a good count as to what it is, and item numbers. You know, the pictures on this are great in this line of work. You can send pictures through the app on this with a smartphone, or you can email them to us. We prefer the app because it comes through and it lists your truck and on there. But if you need to email them, you can email them. Just make sure you include your trip or truck number on there so we can recognize who it's coming from.
You know, so here a few weeks ago, there was a big, you know, outcry. You know, we've really emphasized, or shall I say, re-emphasize, you know, making sure that we've got a lock on the trailer. You know, of course, the, you know, seal and tack process is big with claims, but the lock on the trailer is a big part of it too.
Yeah, we need to make sure we have locks on the trailer. The seals are there to protect you guys, and the locks are there too. You know, we want to make sure we've got locks on there so we can show our customers that their product has not been tampered with.
All right. So any other information you want to flow out to the drivers before we let you out of here?
Yeah. Make sure you get all the bills signed for. If you got multiple POs on your stop, make sure they sign for each one of them and get them all turned in. Because when we have issues with the customers, that's what your bills are actually a legal contract. So make sure that you guys get them turned in and send in all pages of it.
And but before you go, you know, so every driver has a fleet manager, and the way that they're working, at least in the refrigerated division, is an SBU, small business unit. So you have your same fleet manager, payroll person, road assist associate. You know, how does it work from a claims process? Is it like that, or is it a little bit different?
Claims is a little bit different. We're more set up like our like sales teams. We're actually divided up into regions. I actually handle the West Coast region. If you're taking a load, it's from where the load ships from. So if you're hauling a load that's out of my region, more than likely you're hauling produce. And I do want to say that the two places where we do get hit with claims the most is produce and proteins. So on those produce loads, make sure you get your load locks in there. And on the protein loads, make sure you get your seals on there, and their seals are signed for at each stop.
All right. I think we've got 2 questions, and then Eric will be standing over here to my side, able to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay, this regards to the reefer division, and I've had this happen before, and luckily nothing major happened of it, but I've had drivers not want me parking next to them. I even had like people in motorhomes park next to me in the truck stop complaining that my reefer's on, and they're talking about wanting me to turn it off, and they're going to turn it off if I don't turn it off, and just a thought is if they do, and I keep turning it back on, they keep turning it back off again. Hypothetical situation. Authorities to call, the police, state police. I mean, because tampering with the load on a commercial motor vehicle and then tampering with the commercial motor vehicle itself, as I understand it, are both federal crimes. So,
Well, yeah, I would actually deal with that at the end result, but we really need to get security involved. The truck stop, that they may end up contacting the authorities in the jurisdiction that you're at, but yeah, you need to contact the truck stop and security here.
Communication is key. Let us know what's going on. If you have a problem, everybody, Bill and this team are here to help. Last question, and then, like I said, Eric will be over here on the side, able to answer any question that you might have.
I just want to clear one thing up. Okay, so as a driver, it doesn't matter. My fleet manager, for one, is number one notorious for this. He has made us call claims every time that we pick up a preloaded trailer that is already sealed. And so lately we've been calling into claims to get a number, and they're telling us that we don't need a number. So I need to, since you're standing here in front of me, I want you to tell me, do we have to call for a claims number every time we pick up a preloaded trailer that is already sealed?
Well, that's going to vary from customer to customer. Each customer has their own requirements. So on some of them, they would probably be a good idea to call in. Others, it really wouldn't be no reason.
Okay,
So the dispatcher's just covering all the bases on that.
Well, I get that too, but then when you call in the claims, especially this usually happens at night. It's never happened to me during the day. But at night when I call in, well, why do you want a claim number? You don't need a claim number. You picked up a loaded trailer that's pre-sealed. You don't need one. Then I have to call. It's like a series of things. And I have to call Doug and say, Doug, they don't give me a number. What do I do now? Because I know at the end of the day, I'm going to get charged for that load if something is wrong with that load.
Well, if it's preloaded and pre-sealed,
Right.
the issue there is you want to make sure that the seal is still sealed when you
Right.
arrive at the receiver. That's what we can show. We can show the customer that the trailer was sealed at the shipper and it was sealed when we got at arrived at the receiver. The only thing on some of the customers, though, even if it is preloaded and pre-sealed, like Walmart out in Colton, California, we are supposed to break that seal at the facility and install our load locks. So that's the one thing we do have to do that. So
Go ahead, finish this.
it's all right. That's good.
All right, so here's what I'm gonna ask you to do, and this is what I absolutely love about this meeting. We obviously have some questions. There's a unique situation that needs to be addressed. So Eric, thank you. Let's slide over to the side. You guys can talk about that. If you've got a load number, a specific date that this happened, that's good information to share with Eric, and we'll be able to get that addressed right away. Thank you so much. Let's give Eric a round of applause. That was his first time. Eric, it's not as easy as it looked to get up here and talk in front of people, is it?
It's always a challenge, and this one's always kind of difficult, but for our new folks, our veteran drivers already know this. You're really joining a big family here. We're huge, we're massive, we're over 10,000 associates, but we truly are a family. And when we lose family members, just like your own family, we like to recognize them and maybe just bow our heads for a minute. In the last couple of weeks, we did lose 2 associates, both drivers. We lost Rocio Elkins. Some of you may know her. She used to work at the Oasis, one of our hotels here. Just a super nice lady. Decided to become a truck driver and went out over the road. And then just recently, we also lost Joseph Brown. So could we just maybe have a moment of silence for both of them this morning and remember them? Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure their families and they both appreciate that. So thank you for that. I got one more thing to do before we turn it over. Actually, two. Number one, I always enjoy recognizing our veterans. We've used that word for our drivers in here, but the true meaning of the word veteran is someone that has defended this country in uniform. So if you're a veteran, would you please stand this morning so we can recognize you for your service? And I always like to get a plug in for Brianne over here. Richard's normally here. If you're having trouble with the app, if you're having trouble just figuring out how to download that pesky thing, come over here and see Brianne, because that app is truly one of the best ways we have for you to communicate with us, from the pictures Eric was talking about to so many other things. So if it doesn't work, make sure you get with them.
We got one quick announcement. I'm going to bring Brandon Mallard up from our HR department. He's going to give you a quick announcement, and then we're going to roll into our final two speakers. Hey, good morning, Brandon.
Good morning. Thank you. All right. I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but just wanted to make a quick announcement for company drivers. Monday, the 17th, so next Monday, open enrollment is going to start. So we are going to start sending out app messages. It's going to run until November 11th. Okay. If you want to go ahead and view the electronic versions of the benefits guide, we've got those posted at primeincbenefits.com. So you can look at those. Just wanted to get that out in front of you so you were not surprised on Monday. Okay. Independent contractors, your open enrollment will start on November 1st and will run until January 15th. Okay. I appreciate you guys letting me get up here. I didn't have a ton of information for you yet, but wanted you to keep your eyes open for that app message. Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate you and your team. Okay, we're just about there. I'm going to say go easy on our next two speakers. I have it from a reliable authority. They were up late last night, but they're both here because that's what they do. Our Vice President of Sales and Marketing, Steve Wetke.
Hey, thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. Yeah, we've been on the go this week. Good to see y'all. I'm in sales. Steve's right about that. But more importantly, for you new drivers seizing the opportunity to join our family, it's really about safety, and we should never forget it. We have a great customer base, but they would tell you, just as I'm telling you, that our highest calling is safety. And for you new drivers coming in, it's a dangerous job, and you really need to be ready when you get behind the wheel. You've got to take this as serious. You only get one chance to make a mistake in this business sometimes, and we just don't need you to do that. So please consider that as you go through our training process. You know, Jason mentioned the changing of the mileage on the training side. That's not always bad, particularly this time of year. I think that we get a lot of operators from the Southeast region that haven't driven in the snow and some bad weather. And so it's probably a blessing in disguise that we're kind of backed up with trucks and drivers. So consider that as you get out there. You know, we have a brand here at Prime, and it is about being the very best in every area we possibly can be. And we were just recognized just yesterday, right, Jim? I mean, it's okay I say this, isn't it? Yeah. You know, one of our largest, in fact, our largest customer weekly is Tyson Foods. We do over $4 million a week in revenue with them. And they selected us to carry the year for this year. So thank you. You know, the challenge in this business is to define service. And on time, in full, without claim is service. But service is also involved in protecting the product, blocking and bracing, and making sure the temperature is correct. I hear what you're saying about drivers kind of getting in there and manipulating our temperature on the trailer. Don't be a victim. Be very vociferous with the people at the truck stop or our security people. You know, we just can't be victims. We got to communicate. That's part of our job. And don't hesitate to give a shout out when we have a problem regarding anything. You know, we pick up a trailer that's sealed. Make sure you get a picture of the seal if you want. Make sure you get a picture of the seal when you deliver it, that it's intact. So just protect yourself. If you're protecting yourself, you're protecting us, and you're protecting our shipper. I'm telling you, I've been here a long time, have not delivered a load on time, not one in my 39 years here. So this recognition of being Tyson's Carrier of the Year is huge. Their business is challenging, but we dwarfed the competition when it came to service and winning this award. So I know they're proud of you. In fact, they're probably listening today. And we're certainly proud of what you do. Safety is our highest calling. I'm going to bring up the guy that started this, Robert Lowe. Thank you all very much for what you do. Proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. I see a lot of new folks. Welcome. You're family now. Don't try to run off. We're going to go over there to Hillsboro. Is that it? We'll come find you. Small town. Sure we can find you. So we appreciate y'all very much. Like I say, you are family now. That's how we roll. We value our associates and we respect our associates. Nobody's just a truck driver. You know, you are a family member here and you're loved and appreciated. I'll leave it like that. You know, business is pretty good. It's hanging in there. You know, these talking heads on TV just try to keep talking us into a recession, right? But I tell you what, you know, we do pretty well in good times and we do well in bad times. So I want to allay your concerns. We'll roll right on through whatever the economy throws at us. We have great customers. Steve mentioned Tyson. They're a wonderful group, wonderful products, wonderful shipper, very fair to us. And we have a lot of other shippers out there that are just like them. So we want to take care of them, we want to provide them capacity, on time, claim free, all the products standing tall and at the right temperature, like Steve just said. You know, I don't have any time. I mean, they just wheeze up all the time and they put me up here. So I'll just end with appreciate you and thank you for being here. God bless you and be safe out there.
Okay.